In sky, you know. Hello there, and welcome to my Bloons Tower Defense 5 channel. I'm Italian Ninja, and this is where I make attempts at defeating challenges I've set out for myself, make progress, and learn to get better at this game, and subsequently, life. If you enjoy this type of stuff, feel free to subscribe. If you comment, I'll shout you out. Today we are going dance floor on Impoppable. We have yet to defeat that yet. Well, on video, I defeated it independently, but I deleted it accidentally, so I didn't get to do my commentary over top of it and post it. But I'm just going to get this rock in here quick, and then I'm going to do the shoutouts, and I'm going to tell you guys some funny stories over the last couple days and interesting facts and shit that I feel like I want to say. So that's how things tend to work here on the Italian Ninja channel. We're going to be getting into some fun stuff, but I just wanted to say... I wanted to shout out some peeps here. Where are the people? There they are. There they are. So Francisco A. I want to shout you out. Thank you for subscribing. Jibo Fried. Your profile picture looks awfully scary. The way that you look is just like you look very Indian. Not that that's an issue. There's no issues with that, but the other subscriber I want to give a shout out to is Swift Boozle. I want to say thank you for subscribing to you guys. Swift Boozle said something, which I thought was very funny. You remind me of one of my friends. I'll tell you guys a story about him in a second, but I'm going to give another shout out to the other person here, the Mad Hatter. This is one of the nicest comments I had, and that's actually, you guys... Just if you guys wanted to know that some of the reason that I sit down and actually make a video some days is because of some of the nice comments that you guys put. So I do want to say thank you guys for all of the nice comments that I receive. They're very motivating, and they help keep me incentivized to keep making stuff, because I mean, like, I'm not really making it necessarily for the crowd, you know. I'm kind of making it for myself, but I also... What I think is the most interesting part of YouTube is that you get to test that the things that you think... I mean, this is true about entrepreneurship too, and a lot of other things in life. I mean, just saying things in front of people as well. But a really interesting part of YouTube is being able to test your ideas on the world. Like, I didn't know when I started this channel if this was going to work. And if it didn't work, I wouldn't be making these videos right now, and I'd probably be doing something else. So... you know, it's just, I find it to be really interesting that you can make a video, put it out there, and then, you know, maybe people don't like it. The thing is that's hard to tell sometimes, is like the reason that people don't like it, or why is it not compelling, or why didn't it get pushed by the algorithm? Like, there's all these weird little scenarios that you're really not certain of why something might have popped off or something. Like, I think I had a video right now that over the past, like, you know, 7 videos that I did that got into the 500 views, which is like 10 times the views that I normally get, maybe 100 times the views that I normally get in a video. So it was quite extreme for me, but you know, and I'm very surprised now. I'm trying to figure out, like, what the hell, like, why is this video so popular versus the other ones? It doesn't make sense to me sometimes, you know? Like, it's just the nature of the... I gotta freaking clip this goddamn lapel mic to my shirt. I keep trying to, like, play this game with one hand, and it just doesn't work. But what I was getting at is the games like this might not necessarily be compelling to some people, but I'm hoping that the commentary carries, right? Just because I got a lot to say, you know? And I like answering questions, and I like talking to people, and I used to say it to some of the guys that I work with, and it's like, I'm a real teams guy, you know. I like teams, and I like observing how people interact and helping people, and all these things that are probably not considered a lot of things that other people have interest in, or they do but they don't really notice. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people just don't talk about, eh? I'm pretty open and honest. I like talking about just about everything. I mean, even, especially the hard shit. And I think part of that is that it's like, I've been there. You know, I've been there, done that, thought about it. There's lots of things that people come and discuss with me that are probably things that they should be discussing with therapists, but they'll come and discuss it with me. And I don't know, I like to think of myself as a little bit of like a practical psychologist, mainly just because I've had to figure out myself, you know? So for anybody out there who's figuring themselves out, keep on keeping on, and you know, you'll get there eventually. For anybody out there who's struggling right now, the only way forward is through, you know? That's a Winston Churchill quote, but I'm going to throw it out there to you guys. I got another quote. What did I say? I said it to my buddy last night before I left work. Frig, what's that quote? Well, I gotta go grab my little notebook. Notebook has been tracked down, located, and now it's back on my desk here. And the quote is, "You can tell a lot about a man's character by how much truth he can tolerate." I can't remember who exactly said it, but it's something along those lines. And I think that it's a really good quote because I think it's true, you know? There's a guy that I work with. He runs I want to call it like a $5 million line. You know, it extrudes plastic. And it's a very complicated piece of equipment, and he has a lot of responsibility around it. But the thing is, when things are going right, he doesn't really have anything to do. So for 8 hours at a time, he kind of comes in, watches things, doesn't really do anything, and then goes home. And I pointed it out to him one day that I was like, dude, you don't really do a lot. And he's like, you know how complicated my job is? You know how hard this is? You think I'm just over here standing here doing nothing. And I'm like, well, you are. Like, you are standing there doing nothing, but it's not like you don't have the responsibility. And if something goes wrong, it's like this, it's not the same kind of difficult of sitting down and playing a really intense game of chess and going out and running a 100-mile marathon. Like, those two different things. Like, if you tried to play Magnus Carlsen in chess and then race David Goggins in running, say a long distance race, like, which one would be easier? You know? I don't know. I don't think either of them are particularly easy. They're both really fucking hard. So I think that things like that, they make me laugh a little bit, you know, because you'll sit there and try to figure these things out. Like, what do we, sorry. You'll sit there and try to figure out like what's harder, what's easier and stuff. But the truth is that sometimes you just don't know, you know, like you can't know the answer. I just don't want to lose here. Say, I know I gotta add some shit here. I don't want to lose. I'm gonna be careful. Be careful, hombres. Oh, lightning bolt. How did I forget about lightning bolt? Okay, what else do I need here? So I'm not even gonna fuck around. I am just gonna get a balloon chipper. So I'm actually trying to defeat this today. I don't wanna fail again. I have like the whole next friggin' map I have defeated. I just have to do commentary over it. And I have it all recorded and everything. Just need to do commentary and upload those videos. But I want to do it in chronological order. So this is the next one in the chronological order that I'm looking to do. So this is what I'm focusing on. If you guys like this stuff, subscribe. You know, I like having people around. Just having more subscribers in general lets me know that people are liking this type of stuff. I am tracking stats like a madman, just because I like stats. But I mean, when I got like 6 views on my last video, which is, you know, I am gonna say that I really do appreciate the people coming out to watch, you know, because it's kind of surprising. And there's probably some people that come back and watch that maybe just like it for the commentary. I don't know, you know, but I will say that I don't mind making the videos, so I hope that you guys enjoy watching them. I guess, you know, what's an interesting stat to, oh, okay. Let's just thin this shit out here. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I want to beat this. I want to beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. Not a big Michael Jackson guy. I'm not I don't even know what kind of music that is. You know? Like, I don't even know what you call that kind of music. Like Michael Jackson and him singing. Like, obviously, he was very skilled. Uh, Musically, it doesn't really jive with me. Like when I hear Michael Jackson, I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, he's another pop star, but maybe he was the first pop star, or maybe that was Elvis. I'm not exactly certain. These are all things that would be cool to do deep dives on at some point, but I heard somebody recently say that it's like, you have to be very careful about what you spend your time on because you only have so much. So, and I do agree with that, that, it is like something that you have to be very mindful of. Like, oh, okay, let's get this down. Let's get that. Let's just put this down just to be safe. I really just don't like. Okay. I don't like this at all. I don't like playing like this. I don't like playing where I'm like at the risk of losing just about every single time. That actually helped quite a bit though. That did right there. So I'm actually going to go with something a little bit unconventional for me, but I'm going to go a glue. I'm going to go glue man. Hopefully you guys didn't hear anything too much in the background there. My dad's in the basement. He's working out, so I'm not sure if the TV can be heard in the background of this video, but yeah. 63-year-old man working out 3 hours a day. He's a beast. I've tried to convince him to do a podcast with me, but he doesn't really seem to have that much interest in that at this point. I think that his views are very controversial and would actually generate quite a lot of clicks. He might get himself in a little bit of trouble, but I think it's nothing he couldn't handle. He's a tough guy, so and he just generally is pretty disagreeable, just like me. So I think it would actually go pretty well. I think it'd be quite entertaining for people. I think they would enjoy it. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about? I did want to talk about something. It's about I fucking gotten shit this week at work for coming back from lunch break 1 minute late. Like actually 1 minute, and it's just one of those things where I kind of told the boss, I didn't tell him to straight up fuck off, but I kind of, I was like, dude, are you really going to make this big of a deal? Like I'm in this corner making parts of chairs all by myself. And you're going to, like, I basically just said to him, I was like, dude, I could go over there right now and go and waste time for the next half an hour. And you wouldn't know the difference because you don't know what I'm doing. So how about you just leave me alone and I'm just going to do what I'm doing. And we just continue, pretend that I didn't come back from break 1 minute late, and I thought for the rest of the day, I was like, oh, this guy's going to he's going to write me up or something, My shift has 4 people and the supervisor seems to go in rotation to fuck with each one of us. And I don't know exactly why he does that. I think it's mainly boredom, I think that when you give somebody a supervisor job that doesn't want to do anything but actually just walk around and do nothing, like that's a real problem in my estimation. I know that some people might not see that as a big issue, or they also just might be blind. I don't know. That might be a little bit mean to say, but the thing is when people are doing nothing, standing around, it's different. It's different if you have a supervisor who actually like can help you, But when you have somebody who's supervising you that is just like completely incompetent, it's like, like, and as I'm starting to get, I watch some guys on YouTube that, they talk about stuff like that. That's like, that's kind of their strategy for business. And it's like, it's just so pathetic to me. That's like, because there's going to be times where you're going to have to jump in and do stuff yourself, I don't know, like, I might be wrong about that because the best people in business, guys like Elon Musk, maybe they're just master delegators, I do think that Elon's very good at delegating and trusting people and like, building a team. But I think the big part of that is that the people know that if they don't do what he wants, he's just going to do it himself. Like it's not going to deter, like just because you're not there helping him doesn't mean that he's going to stop doing what he's doing. And I think that that is a really powerful way to handle it, right? Like this business is going on with or without you. So if you want to help, then great. If you're going to cause trouble, get the fuck out of the way. And I think that that is it's just an interesting, I don't know what to call it other than like strategy. Like I think that that is the right way to do things. Is like, maybe not necessarily having, maybe not doing them. Like if you don't like, because there's some people who's just like, I'm not great at anything medical. I don't have skills in that field. Like, hold on, sorry, let me get this unit down here. My girlfriend, she's a surgical nurse, so she's like very strong when it comes to that type of stuff, right? And it's like, if I had to do anything like that, it's like it's not going to work out very well for me. I can't remember where I was going with that point. I had a point about all that. I'm not necessarily going to go back in the video. Oh, it's about delegating. And so like, there are things that you can do to help get things done faster just from, being on the outside. But I think that for the most part, it's not obstructing those people that are already doing the work, right? I think that is a mistake that most managers and supervisors get wrong. And I see that more often than not. Is like, I'll be actually, I have a couple of buddies there at work that we'll talk while we're working, and this guy will come over and like kind of break it up, like, no, it's like, stop talking. And it's like who the fuck is this hurting right now, you know? And it's like, even if it was like, there's cameras, and if they see you guys talking on the cameras and me not saying anything, then they're gonna be mad at me. And I'm like, yeah, they probably will. Um, but the question is like, how much is this affecting production, right? And if it boosts morale, like, this is the thing that I think a lot of supervisors, they get wrong, or they just don't understand, and it's that if you upset your entire workforce. Like, now the thing is sometimes you're going to have to do that, right? Like, there's nothing that you can necessarily do. It's just like, you're going to have to give an order, and it's not going to be nice for anybody. Even you might not even like the order yourself, but it's like, you have to give that order, or else maybe the company's going to fail. Like, like, you don't know the circumstances, right, under which these companies are under. So, where I'm going at with all this is that, for the most part, if people are working well, um, and they're being high producing people, don't go in there and rattle the cage. Like, I notice a lot of supervisors or lead hands and stuff that do stuff like that, where it's like, everything will be running smooth, and they cause the chaos. And it's like, actually, what would be best for the organization is for them to fuck off. Now, you can't, I don't know. Like, I think that sometimes some supervisors, a lot of supervisors, are completely unnecessary. You could basically have somebody do their regular job and be the supervisor. I think that the issue starts to then become, like, that guy. How do you pay him? You know, I think that's a big problem in today's society. Is that, like, you'll notice a company will structurally, they will set themselves up so that one guy, like, they'll just reduce, this happens actually quite frequently. This happened to my friend a couple of times. The company kept, because of how productive he was, they kept eliminating positions and giving the positions to him. And it's like, he was just so good at his job that he could do all these other jobs at the same time. And eventually, at some point, he pushed back and he asked for like a $10,000 raise. And when they told him no, he basically said, okay, well, then I'm not doing that job anymore. And, he stuck to his guns. And it's like, I'm really proud of him for that. I think that the hard part is for him now is that he's a little bit stuck. Um, because he doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to move on anywhere else. He interviewed somewhere else for the same position, and it's, the same shit one way or the other, and he didn't answer the questions honestly in the interview, so I think that actually messed him up. But anyway, where am I going with this? We are gonna go for an Apache dart ship, because that is gonna help with the back end of the map here. I don't think I need much more balloon traps than this. I'm just gonna focus on... I could probably get a couple more and place them over here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go a couple more balloon traps before I get the Apache dart ship, just to help me build up a little bit of extra cash. Cashola. Still listening to that song, that Kanye West song, for anybody out there. Back to Me on Vultures 1. Kanye is a weird guy, but he makes some good goddamn music, I like his music. I hope other people do too. I mean, they must. It's like that guy is just full of talent. Also craziness, I don't even know what to think about a guy like that half the time. It's like, is he a genius, or is he, a little bit above special, but he just happens to have his 100,000 hours in music? Like, I don't know. Because that's what it seems like to me. It's like he might not be good at very much. That guy might not even be able to read and write very well. But he can definitely make some music. It's like a Floyd Mayweather thing. I heard a little bit more context into the 50 Cent Floyd Mayweather situation recently too. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this. And the only reason I can say this is because I feel like it came right from 50 Cent's mouth. And it was, they had a falling out. But the falling out was like over something actually kind of silly. It was like Floyd Mayweather was going to jail, and he asked 50 Cent, he's like, hey, can you come in and help with like Mayweather Productions, help us, like, help me run it while I'm in jail. And 50 Cent was like, yeah, I'll help you run it. And he's like, there was nothing there. There was no LLC. There's no, like, it's just a talk. There's nothing of value that he could, like, extract anything from and sell it if he wanted to, right? By the sounds of it from 50 Cent's description. And then they had talked about some kind of compensation, and afterwards, after the deal was all done and 50 Cent had basically completed all the work, Floyd said, well, I didn't ask you to do all that. And it's like, yeah, dude, yeah, you did. Like, a guy willing to burn bridges like that, it's just like not a wise move, man. Like, now you live and learn, just like with anybody lives and learns. Like, that's kind of the name of the game, right? But I do think that when people are doing shitty things like that, it's just like, come on, man. Like, don't be a shitty person. Be a good man. Especially when you're that successful. Like, I'm actually surprised sometimes that people can get to being that successful, and then they can still be fuckboys and, they suck. Like, some people can still suck. I don't know, like, I think that there's a couple of different strategies to building sustainable wealth, in my estimation. It's like kind of like an Elon Musk strategy, and then you have like a Floyd Mayweather strategy where it's like, Floyd Mayweather seems to be... Now, he obviously hasn't done this in all aspects, or else he wouldn't... I don't think he'd have any money at all. But, stepping on toes and kicking people, like pushing people down in order for you to get ahead. That's like one strategy that people will take, and I think that it kind of goes along with the red ocean strategy that some people employ for business. If you guys are ever interested in a book, there's a book, it's called Blue Ocean Strategy. I've never actually finished reading it, but I read enough of it to kind of understand the concepts and learn from it, which is, I think, the major key of, books and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like, this is a little bit of a controversial take, but I used to try to read, just because people told me I had trouble finishing things. I used to try to read like a book from cover to cover. I would be upset at myself if I started a second book before I finished the first one. That would really bother me, because I'd be like, oh, I gotta finish things. Because people in my life around me were telling me, oh, you don't finish anything. And it's like, you haven't started anything, You can look at people like that and be like, yeah, you haven't started anything. It's like, yeah, but what have you done? Like, what have you started that was like so difficult that you actually maybe failed at? And that's the thing. Other people will look at you and like they'll want to tell you that your failures are like worse than theirs, but sometimes they don't even fail because they don't even try. So I don't know. I feel like it's a sin of omission if you don't even try at anything. And to me, that's what it seems like. So I guess any for advice for anybody out there, it's like, try the difficult things, do the hard shit that you think will be worth it. There's a lot of ideas that I there's a lot of things that people will never get to do because they just don't have the balls to step in and try it. So have the cojones to do it, boys and girls. Have the cojones to do it. That's a big lesson for anybody. Just try. Just try, just start. There's all these little things that you see on t-shirts, and I don't know. Sometimes the veil gets lifted and you can see it yourself. Sometimes you can't. Uh, but yeah, you know, interesting things going on in the world today. Some wildness. I should have wrote down some notes for talking points. I had like a million things I wanted to say before I started this, and then you guys know how things are. You get distracted and you start playing and blah 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 blah. Blah. Shit happens. But I am gonna say I really like these balloon traps. If you guys are trying to beat Impoppable, just follow along. Maybe slow the video down a little bit or play it at full speed. Doesn't matter to me. But you could just follow my unit placement if you were really interested. I'm gonna eventually at some point kind of do little videos where I talk about all this shit, uh, and structure it more in a sense that's like more coherent for somebody who's looking for a playthrough of this. But I don't like getting super technical with it just because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a fun little game. And that's what makes it fun for me, is playing the way that I do. Is like I just kind of jump on, to talk a little bit, play a little bit. Sometimes I don't play it. This week's been a slow week for me for making videos. I think I actually have quite a few posted still, but uh, I haven't been making that many. I had them kind of saved up and been working on other stuff. So this has been something that's fallen to the wayside a little bit, which, maybe it's not the best thing in the world, but everyone goes through waves of everything in their life. So just keep that in mind, everybody, that nobody's perfect. Even these people that we look at as like, these people are like gods. It's like they're just real human beings. I heard Steve Jobs say a quote one time. I thought it was I'll be honest, probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Um, he's like, everything around us, all the things that are invented, he goes, they were created by people no smarter than you or me. And I think that is just a very inspiring quote because it's like sometimes it's not intelligence that beats the problem. It's like strategy, you know. So one thing I am gonna do right now is I am gonna load this fucking section up here because this is like I got a lot of area down here, but I am gonna load this section up with I don't need any more balloon traps with Moa Maulers. We're gonna go strong. Let's make sure that this is on strong. Yep. Okay, that's on strong too. I'm gonna load this up. Is that? See, I kind of want to put. I don't want to put a. I kind of want to put a balloon chipper there. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna put balloon chipper up here. Balloon chipper up there. Super wide, of course. Of course, ombre. Monkey Village. Man, I could put them up there too. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna start by placing them up there because that's where they'll get popped first, right? Okay, I'm gonna fill this in back here, back behind this area. It's kind of nice, to have a shit ton of cash going in around 85. I'm telling you guys, balloon traps. They are the GOAT. They make everything so much easier. Just because you get the extra cash, okay, I don't know if anybody wants to take this as a corollary to real life, but like money doesn't get the game done. It doesn't finish the whole game, but it definitely makes it easier when you have the money, right? There's still a challenge though, obviously. Always a challenge. There's always challenges. That is life. Life is a challenge. And if it's not, probably got to do some more difficult shit. Because that. I got to put a... Ooh, I forgot about that. So I'm going to place... This is going to be very helpful. So extra range. We're actually just going to go balloon impact on that one. So because what usually happens is by the time they start getting blown up, shit starts going down here, and then that balloon impact's going to help with the cleanup a lot. So I'm going to keep going with this little network here. Just trying to basically fill in wherever I can, putting Moab maulers and balloon chippers. We're going to see how this goes in 1 minute here, boys and girls. I should probably pause it and just fill it all in, but you guys can hang on here with me. What else are you doing with your life? Tell me. Seriously, for real. Tell me in the comments. I'm curious, you know? Tell me, I'm curious what you guys do, you know, for anybody who's new here, or like what is it that gets you going in the morning? What makes you tick, you know? That's a very fascinating thing. Okay, I'm done. I think we're gonna win here. We'll see. You know what? Fuck it. One more. I'm gonna go one more balloon chipper. Just because I don't know what's gonna happen here. One more balloon chipper. Super wide. Okay, we are down to $1,000. We will start. I'm gonna go regular speed though, because I kind of want to watch this. I've been making thumbnails. This video that comes out, I'm just gonna make it a regular thumbnail because this is gonna be my control group. What I want to test is like click through, and you know how much that affects retention, and you know who gets to view it, things like that. You know, there's all these small little things. I think that this is actually gonna go okay. I'm hoping. These balloon chippers are really hanging up these things, and the Moab maulers are really knocking down the balloons. So I don't know, looking pretty good to me so far. We will see in 1 second how this ends up turning out. Yeah, I think we're okay. I don't know though. We're gonna see. My estimation might be incorrect, but these Moab maulers and these area of attack things, they're gonna just destroy all this shit. Yeah, it looks like that. I think we're okay. I think we won here, boys, but give me a minute just to confirm. I'm happy. Yep. Oh. What? Oh, shit. Okay. There we go. Impoppable. And we'll just see. We'll just see. I don't usually do the free play, but I don't know. I just kind of wonder sometimes how far your setup. Like, this is a pretty good setup, but I'm wondering how far it could take me if I just kind of let it play out, right? If it didn't add any more units. But if you guys like this stuff, you know, subscribe. I like doing commentary. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff like this. The content's going to change quite a bit over time. I don't know. Like, you know, I really like the Mr. Beast strategy that he kind of took, which is just like, you know, trial and error and figuring things out. And like, he's such an honest guy about everything that he handles and how he does it. So I don't know. Like, he doesn't talk much about the money side of it, which is interesting. But I mean, if you had like a Mr. Beast that was talking about the money side of it, more people probably be getting into YouTube. A lot of his ideas, this is funny, a lot of his ideas would actually probably get crushed because other people would do them first, you know? There's some ideas that are uniquely positioned for you, though. If for anybody out there that wants to start something like this, just try, you know? With a cell phone, you really don't need much, you know? And if it is too complicated for you, then just don't do that, you know? Try a different idea, or make a different video, you know? Yeah, but keep things simple, you know? I think the slow progress towards things, just to build things into routines, like, you know, because the thing is, if you think about it, you want to build long-term things, like everything in your life, right? If you do something once, it's like, yeah, okay, it was a one-off, but like, you know, you want to be able to sustainably do things over a long-term period. So I'm actually surprised that this setup has carried us this far. I got a lot of Moab maulers and stuff, and you know, I got some some Bloom Jitsu guys and monkey apprentices. I don't really use any of the special abilities, which you guys did kind of tell me about. The audience told me about it, these special abilities that I've never really cared much about. I'm actually gonna finish this Impoppable game with like 60 over 50K in the bank. Are you for real? Over 50K, over 60K, over 60K in the bank. Wish you could take that out in cash, eh? Buy a real house. Ooh, I bet how many people I wonder how many people sit there sometimes and imagine, man, I wish I could make money. I wish I was as good at this game as I was at real life, you know? Because they're beasts inside of these individual little games, but then all of a sudden they go into the real world and they're like skinny little bitches or fat fucks that can't do anything, you know? I mean, make fun of me. You can say whatever you want, but I used to be a real big fat fuck. I was 300 plus pounds, so uh now I'm just a slightly smaller fat fuck, so 210 right now, but gonna get back in shape and start working out again. So I'm surprised that this setup has carried us as far, but I think this is the level that it loses. I'd be surprised if we made it past coming around this cent. Yeah, we're gonna lose here. No, we're not losing. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this game with over 100K in the bank. This video, I'm very surprised, is gonna go on this long, but you know, trust the setup, boys. Trust the setup. You know, you got to know what you know. I haven't even collected any of these balloon traps. Trust the setup. Trust the setup. Y'all, trust the setup. Homies, homeboys, trust it. Trust everything. Well, overall, trust yourself, you know? You know? Okay, we will lose here, and I hope we do because I want to end this video. I could just end it, literally. I could just end it, but I want to see, you know? All right, there we go. Okay, have a good day, guys. Bye! Comment, tune in for the next one, motherfuckers.